Contact in the Desert 2018. Special guests featuring Dr. Mıchael SALLA.
So let's go jump in now to the deep state. Like, who are they? What's going on? Like, we've heard all about the satanic rituals. Like, maybe go in a little bit more detail about your understanding about all this.
Right. Well, the deep state, the best way to understand that is, as in many things, it's always follow the money trail. Who controls the money supply? And it comes down to, the Rothschild family, the Saudi family, and the Soros Foundation, and those are the kind of three axes of the deep state, and it's because of their enormous control of the money supply. So the Rothschilds control $2 trillion, the Saudis $4 trillion, and Soros $1 trillion. So if you have this group of three kind of institutional actors or families that collectively control $7 trillion in assets, you can understand how they can manipulate the money supply and control governments and control nations around the world. And it was very specific in terms of like the Rothschild family being the head of the this kind of satanic network, that it's an actually global network of satanic practitioners who use rituals, sacrifice, use children who are sacrificed. And this is, again, it's closing down the heart, because children are dear to all of us. And so, people are forced to observe children being sacrificed and eating body parts. This is part of the satanic rituals that many people are exposed to, and that it basically pinpointed the Rothschild family as being the head of this global satanic network. The elite, the deep state, they believe themselves to be the descendants of these visitors that landed here, thousands. The Anunnaki, that's right. So we talk about those that have been referred to, by Sitchin and others as the Anunnaki, or the Nephilim, the fallen angels, the ancient gods. Many different literatures refer to these beings, but I believe that they were real. They did crash land, and that during the last great flood, they basically went into stasis chambers, and actually in the Old Testament actually refers to these fallen ones actually being imprisoned for 10,000 years, and I think what's that referring to is to these stasis chambers in Antarctica where they were imprisoned. And so, as Antarctica heats up, they're finding the places where these fallen ones, their spacecraft were buried. And so the deep state are making a pilgrimage down to Antarctica to kind of like pay reverence to these ancient ones. And it's all tied in with the kind of UFO phenomenon, because they literally believe that they are descended from these ancient extraterrestrials that visited here.
So all of these trips that different political, there's been a lot of mysterious trips, people like John Kerry, Obama going down to Antarctica. No one really knows why. Like, why would you go down to Antarctica? Like, especially right before Obama was out of office, he was going down there. I mean, that must be related to them trying to pay tribute to these beings or something, or checking out all of the bases there and all of that stuff. So it's not just bases. It could be more of a religious affiliation with that area.
Right, it's kind of like Antarctica. What's buried under the ice is like a Disneyland for the deep state in terms of the ancient artifacts and their history. For them, it's like their ancient history. That they are the hybrid descendants of these ancient rulers. And if you look at various historical texts, the King's List, Manetho, and the Greek texts, they talk about the gods ruling over humanity for tens of thousands of years, and then there was a period of rule by the demigods, which was their hybrid descendants, their offshoots, and then the rules by humans. So the deep state, the key figures, people like the Rothschilds, believe themselves to be the direct descendants of these ancient gods that once ruled over humanity, and they're hoping that with Antarctica, now the ice melting and all of the secrets down there being revealed, they're hoping to kind of like resurrect these guys and restore them to their former position, and then these deep state figures like the Rothschilds, the Saudis and that would basically be like the Earth managers.
I mean, we say this, guys, but the truth is stranger than fiction. I mean, you can't get this on a movie. It's really, and it's like people don't understand how real this stuff is.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
it's completely crazy.